Hello, I'm host Eric, and I'm here with famous people Tiffany and Greyel. I have concluded the previous video and begun another. As we began to talk a little bit about Greyel's type, she expressed some uncertainty, and I was saying that INFP has FI in the dominant slot, and I don't think she has FI in the dominant slot because I believe that people who have FI in the dominant slot have a difficulty with time, them projecting out into time. They're trying to find, they're trying to understand reality through their feeling, which is necessarily in the moment. And so when they're trying to understand the next, 5 years of their life, they're trying to project something that doesn't project very well. So they have difficulty with long form questions like that, or long time frame questions. What you guys have any thoughts on that?
Well, that does sound like my fiance, who is an INFP.
If you ask her what she's gonna think or feel about something 5 years from now, what does she say?
Um, well, that's kind of general. I'd need something a little bit more specific, but she's very she tries to kind of relate the future to like the present. I don't think she would see it that way necessarily, but um, what you said just it resonated. It sounded felt you did not felt it. It
Yeah.
described what I see.
All right. Cool. Girl, what are your thoughts on that? Annie, does it sound like you?
No, I generally knew what I wanted to do in a certain amount of time and somehow managed to get there. So I guess probably not.
Did you find did you find school conceptually easy? Or which parts of it?
Um,
Which parts of it did you find conceptually easy? Which parts of it did you find annoying?
Generally school was, I can't say it was as easy as, it wasn't easy and it wasn't difficult. I think for me it was mostly because of, here's the thing, it was because of time management. Of course I was learning another language at the time as well, but um, I was having trouble with time management during school. The subjects weren't difficult, but I was too tired to always understand everything.
What kinds of subjects did you find more comfortable fit with your brain, and which kinds of subjects did you find a less comfortable fit?
Uh, in terms of comfort or discomfort, I didn't really have any trouble with any topics in terms of comfort. It was mostly I just didn't have time for certain subjects. Because I knew I was going to be a lawyer, I decided to skip out on math basically and just not pay attention because it was always first thing in the morning and I just never really could understand anything.
Well, see, that's a really NTP thing. Is your preference there? What kind of subjects did you? When I say most comfortable, what I mean is it's not like, oh, I found that hard. It's rather um, I found that tedious or I found that engaging. And
Tedious. Yeah, tedious was math.
all right, how about you, Tiffany?
I love math. I would have gotten up at 5 a.m. every day for math. In fact, I was in math club in high school, and I went to math tournaments every other Saturday. So math was definitely my most comfortable, most rewarding, least tedious.
What's most tedious for you?
That would probably be the more Englishy history type things. Anything with a lot of written, substantial homework. I find homework to be very tedious. I don't learn from it, and since it doesn't help me, at least not in the way that I was given homework, it doesn't really help me learn a subject, so I don't want to do it. And my report cards growing up, my mom would tell me, she said, the teachers would always say that he gets everything and does so well on the test, but if he'd only do the homework, he'd get an A instead of a B, and it would drive her crazy, and I'd be like, who cares, I got a B, and I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's a very ENTP answer. I have a similar experience. I don't ever assign homework either. The thing is, what I don't do, I don't assign anything. I say, here's a tournament coming up. This is why debate's so much better than regular school. I say, here's a tournament coming up. We're prepping during these hours. They show up. I'm going to be teaching them and working with them and stuff. And then beyond that, freaking my dog. Beyond that, it's up to them to bring the caring. You know, do they want to win or not?
And that works very well when the students are engaged.
Yeah, it requires participation and dedication, I think.
Absolutely. Which I could do for math, but I would never do for... You know what? I take that back. I was about to say I'd never do that for English, but I had one really amazing English teacher that made me absolutely love going to English class. And I didn't even mind writing essays and reading for the class so much as I normally would, which is usually a lot. So maybe it's more about how the material is being presented and less about what the material is. I
mean, like when I took AP Stat in my senior year, for me, I think it really did have to do with time because that was the only time I actually had math in the afternoon, and I got straight A's in that class, as compared to all the other classes where math was early morning.
Did you enjoy it?
Sorry?
At all? Did you enjoy it at all?
What, statistics?
Like, did you find it interesting and stimulating?
To be honest, no.
That's fine. I actually don't find statistics... I find it interesting, but not stimulating. At all. In fact, I hated statistics. I took AP Stats in high school, and I've only just got a 3 on it, which is embarrassing, because I got a 5 on AP Calculus. But, yeah... Sorry. This is why I have trouble with accepting myself as saying like an INTP, because everything I read, the introverted thinking is supposed to be really good for math, and I never really had that kind of a love or interest for math. I got like 5s on all my politics courses, for example, for AP politics. All the political science courses I got 5s on. I enjoyed it. History was fun too for the most part, but I think that's more because I like the teachers. English was alright too. So the classes that you were having, you were bored with, I was having relatively good time with. Science was fun, but not I'm wondering how much of that is our personalities and how much of that is just our personal preferences.
Yeah, that maybe.
I wonder, because like they say various personalities, maybe they're drawn towards math or they're drawn towards writing, etc. But that can't be universal. There's no way every ENTP loves math. It's just it doesn't sound right to me.
It's just that like when it's supposed to be like your dominant function, when it's something that you're supposed to be really good at, that's supposed to be something very easy for you, and you're not very good at it. I think, at least that's the argument I've read online. So I mean, how verifiable or how should I say, how truthful are opinions online, but if you see enough of the same thing, you can't help but wonder.
Yeah. I think you might be something other than ENTP or INTP, but I don't know what.
I think it's totally possible that I'm not either of those.
Maybe like INTJ or something like that.
I have tested as an INTJ as well. The only reason that I have trouble accepting myself as an INTJ is because I also have an INTJ friend, and I was able to observe her thoughts and behaviors pretty well, and I don't really fit into it.
Well, I think you're definitely an NT.
Okay.
I don't know that for sure. It's just that you seem very, very. You seem to. You've said that you feel like you're more. You're not as much feeling, because that's frustrating being a girl because you're kind of expected to be. And you don't strike me as sensing at all.
I wish I was sensing sometimes.
Really? That's the one thing I'm so glad I'm not.
They have a better grasp on quotation reality. They get stuff done here in this plane.
Yeah. But they're boring.
Yeah, of course they're boring, but they don't think they're boring.
That's just my elitism coming out.
Yeah. No, I agree. They're really boring. I am literally stuck in a room with a lot of sensors right now, and it is driving me up the wall. All they talk about are weddings and stuff.
Hi. I had this issue with the. I don't know what's going on there, but I ran down there this is the second time I've heard it. These people who live down the alley, I don't know what they're doing, but I don't think they're treating an animal very nicely. And when I hear it, I try to go down there and catch them.